These Tibetan practices form a complete set for health and rejuvenation. Hi, I am Christine from Yoga Mango. Yoga was introduced to the British Army in India, and a British officer got separated and found himself in a monastery in Tibet and noticed how youthful and rejuvenated he was. When he finally came back, he distilled his knowledge to other people, and it appeared in the UK in a book in 1939. These exercises can be likened to a form of martial arts, and you would do them optimally for 21 times, but they are quite strong in this original format. So we're going to start with 3, and you can work up to 21 as you want to. I hope you enjoy them. Thank you. These exercises should be for a minimum of 3 times, up to a maximum of 21 times. So start with your arms out and start to spin clockwise. You're moving all your energies around. And then just let the room settle. As we come on to our next movement, come to lying, and these are leg lifts, so you can either, the original format is lifting both legs at the same time, this is going to be quite harsh on the back, or you can lift one leg at a time. So this of course will strengthen your stomach muscles and to a lesser extent stretch your back. You can always bend your knees if you have got lower back issues. And you can lift your head up towards your legs for an added abdominal tone. And then hug your knees into your chest when you've finished. Just rock from side to side. And then when you're ready, come to kneeling. You can either tuck your toes under for a softer version, or your toes can be flat on the ground for a stronger version. Breathing out, curl downwards slightly, and breathing in, lift up. If your neck will allow, look up and just place your hands on your waist, your elbows back. Breathing out, come forward, and inhaling, come back up again. And then when you finish, come to sitting with your legs out in front of you. This exercise works on upper body strength. Have your hands comfortably by your side, and inhaling, come to tabletop, look up only if your neck allows you to, and then breathing out, just come to stretch your legs again, inhaling, breathing up and breathing out. And then the 5th one is to come onto your hands and knees. And you come into downward dog, and then come forward into up dog, downward dog, up dog. Moving from one position to the other. It's a full body stretch. And then when you finish that, come to rolling up vertebra by vertebra to standing. This is the 6th one. It's not part of the set, but it does finish off quite nicely. Breathing out, lower your head slightly, hands, turn abdomen in towards the spine. Hold the breath out for as long as you're comfortable. And when you're ready to breathe in as you come back up to standing. And we'll do that a couple more times. And that finishes the set. Thank you very much. So there are warm-ups and preparation exercises, and we'll just look today at some of the alternative modifications or warm-ups that you can do. So for the first one, the warm-up is very simple, as you just gently go from side to side.
Can we start this one again? What about doing the head one first?
Right, okay. Yeah, right. Right, shall I do it? So,
Okay. Good.
we can, so for these practices there are both warm-ups and modifications, and we're going to look at those today a little bit. So we can start with some very simple neck exercises, as you just gently turn your head as little or as much is good for you, and then bring it back to the centre, and breathing out very gently, turn your head to the other side, centre. You can optionally lift your chin up slightly and lower your chin to the chest, or do any amount of combination of these, just gently moving your neck, loosening up. And then the first movement, or the first set of exercises, the alternative to swirling around is simply to go from side to side. You can lift your heels, just enjoy the movement. And to remind you that the full exercise was arms out, and then you swirl around clockwise from 3 to 21 times. And then the second movement is leg lifts. So if you lie on your back, it can be very harsh on your back to lift both legs at the same time. So you've got the option here of either lifting one leg at a time, and you can lift your head up or not lift your head up, again depending on your abdominal tone. And then the other option that you've got is to bend the knee as you lift your leg and bend it as you come down, or a combination of those. So bending your legs, bending at the knees is always very helpful. And then coming to the third one. If you have your toes tucked under, that's less effort, coming up to kneeling. So as you're coming up to kneeling, you can simply just rest your hands on your waist and just lengthen your body, only looking up if that's good for you. You don't have to go all the way back, you can just lower. Inhaling, lifting up, and breathing out, lowering. And you could also use cat-cow as a modification, doing this on all fours, dipping your back, either looking up or not, and rounding your back. That's a softer version still. So coming to the next one, the fourth one, it can be quite strong to lift up into a tabletop. So one of the things that you can do is a whole series of modifications of the bridge pose. So you can come to lying with your knees bent and feet hip width apart, hands by your side. As you breathe in, press your feet into the ground, lift your bottom and lift your arms up ahead. Chin comes into the chest. Breathing out, lower your hands, lower your back, and lower your bottom back down to the ground. And again, pressing your feet into the ground as you breathe in, lifting your bottom, lifting your arms. They can be bent at the elbows, chin in, and breathing out, lowering chin to chest. And yet again, if you want another modification, you come to roll into the side, come to sitting up. A softer version still is just to press your hands into the ground and lift your chest looking up. If that's not good for your neck, then just look ahead. This is again a much softer version. And then we come to the fifth movement. Again, it's quite strong to come from a downward dog to up dog. So there are variations available to you here. You can just keep your knees on the ground, tuck your toes underneath, and come to an up dog, kneeling and breathing out. Chin to chest, you can bring your bottom back towards your heels, your hands can go as well. So you can do this entirely by keeping your knees on the ground, looking up and rounding. Or if you'd like to go a little bit more strongly, you can come to downward dog. Then keep your knees, bring your knees to the ground and come slightly forward with your hands for a kneeling up dog. And again, come to move your hands to a downward dog and then come to kneeling for an up dog. And if an up dog doesn't work for you, then just cat has a slight upward stretch. And then really coming to the final movement, that's quite soft. You can come to standing. And if you don't want to hold your breath for any reason, you can just simply roll slightly down, softening your knees as you breathe out. And breathing in, come to standing, looking ahead or looking up, rolling down, softening your knees, and coming up. So all these are modifications from the main movement, and you can choose whichever you'd like. They all give a huge health benefits. Thank you.